We support children with global developmental delay, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, and autism in their inclusive preschool. They will be presenting their case study today on a buddy system to step up social learning in an inclusive setting. Let's put our hands together for Ms. WEI LING and Ms. Beverly Tan.
Hello. Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. So I'm WEI LING, and this is Beverly. We are both from kindergarten preschool by AWA, and we are presenting on a case study, Buddy System for Social Learning in an Inclusive Setting. So let me first tell you a little bit more about AWA. So we are a non-profit organization that is founded in 1970. Our mission is to empower the disadvantaged to maximize their potential to lead dignified and independent lives. All of AWA services has and been driven by this mission. So we provide a continuum of services from birth to senior care, and we look at disability from birth all the way. Kindergarten, where we are from, looks at children who are 18 months old all the way to 6-year-olds. So this is a diagram of illustrating placement setting for children with additional needs that can happen. So if you look at the top right-hand corner, we have specialized services such as early intervention centers that offers specialized care only for children with disability. Under integrated services, we have the preschool support services, development support, learning support that started in 2012, and AWA is one of the 3 providers for children with developmental and learning needs in preschool and childcare. In this space, we provided integrated care for children in mainstream, and our therapists work with teachers and families to do pull-out intervention in the respective preschool and childcare. So in providing these 2 services, we do realize that there is a gap in our services and that we have children who attend early intervention and that also attend childcare services. In order to bridge this gap, Kindergarten Preschool by AWA was incepted in 2016, where children of all abilities and needs can work, learn, and play together. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about kindergarten, where we are from. So in this picture, this is our playground. This is what you will see when you first step into kindergarten. And during outdoor time, you'll hear a lot of laughter and shouts from our children who they really enjoy outdoor time. Next. This is actually a specially designed truck that is also a safe space for our children with diverse needs to play in. It is big enough so that a child on wheelchair can have access to. They can pretend to be the driver, passenger, and many more different play opportunities can happen in this space. One of the other areas in kindergarten that we do social emotional work in, and this can also be a quiet area for our children when needed too. So here you can see some of the learning spaces that we have in kindergarten. So in kindergarten, our learning is not contained only in the classroom. Our older children actually do project-based learning. So on the picture on your left, we have outdoor lessons where actually they were learning about gardening, different kinds of seeds. So they got an opportunity to explore the texture of soil and much more in our sensory garden. So the other picture is a session that is going on indoors. So usually if we need them to do writing, where we need proper writing instruments, or they need to sit down with the correct posture, we do them indoors. So in kindergarten, we have early childhood educators like myself and Beverly, some with early intervention background. And we also have a team of therapists that work together to support our children and their developmental needs. Our children in kindergarten, 30% of them are children with additional needs, and we also care for children who are at risk and from vulnerable families. So in kindergarten, these are the type of diagnoses that you will see in our children with added needs. In a class of 15 children, we would have 4 with any of these diagnoses. Generally, we might have 1 or 2 with autism, 1 with Down syndrome, maybe another 1 with cerebral palsy. So it could be any of the combination of diagnoses that you might see on this list. So what is inclusion to us? In kindergarten, inclusion is not a deficit model. So it is about access, participation, and support, and these three work hand in hand to drive our inclusion journey. So it also means the removal of barriers in environment, activities, and amongst people to increase access to education. So one key lesson that we have in kindergarten is the consistent need to review our practices and to empower our children. We believe that our children are not recipients of help and can be active contributors to society. And one key structure that we embed to ensure that that happens is the introduction of buddy system. So it is a systematic and efficient way to empower our children and drive our inclusion journey. According to research that we have done, we know that buddy system promotes children participation in class and also increase social engagement. However, we also note that these studies has been done with specific groups of children, for instance, children with autism only, or they are usually done with older groups of children who are 7 and above. So why do we want to do buddy system then? As mentioned earlier, we would like to empower our children in our journey to inclusion. We would also like to reduce prompting from the teachers and increase their social skills, awareness of peers, and to overall encourage all children to work together in the natural setting. So in kindergarten, we have observed our children interacting with each other, for instance, to initiate help, to help any of their peers who might need it, and to also initiate play and learn together. We believe that all of them have the potential to achieve and be drivers to inclusion. By systematically embedding the buddy system structure, we hope to enhance and provide all of our children with more appropriate ways to interact and achieve their learning goals together, and to empower each other and help them contribute to growing inclusion. So all of this helps to remove barriers by encouraging positive relationship between our children. So now let me tell you how we go about doing it. So before we do our pairing, the children will observe over a period of 3 months. So during these 3 months, we observe their strengths and areas of needs. And the buddies are changed termly, depending on our observation. So one term, it's about 3 months. But of course, this is on a case-by-case basis. We do also observe our children's readiness level and their level of comfort with their current buddies. So over here you can see we look at their strengths, their needs, behavioral presentation, and also their individual learning goals before we decide on who we would like to pair together. So all these are discussed with teachers who work with the child directly or indirectly, and of course with our team of therapists. Let me give you an example of how we go about it. So over here we have child A and child B. So child A is very mild-mannered. He is actually non-verbal, but he also enjoys his peers' company, as we observe that he smiles very brightly when his peers talk to him, or when he comes to school in the morning and his peers say good morning to him. He actually responded very positively. And we also observed that he would selectively tap a few familiar friends for attention at times, for instance, during learning center time or free play time. But he also moves away when some louder friends join into the play. He might go and seek comfort from a teacher instead. On the other hand, we have child B, who is very vocal, sometimes a little bit too much, but also very independent and very helpful. And we observe that sometimes when we move from the dining area back to class, children actually sometimes forget their water bottle or leaves behind some personal items. He would be the one to go and tap on his friend, oh, you forgot this, you forgot that. So we actually observe that he has quite good observation skills and very helpful to his friends. But we note that sometimes he might be a little bit too helpful, and we have to remind him, oh, it's okay. Sometimes you have to allow some space for your friends to grow and to learn on their own. So with that information, we decided to pair these two children together. Our objectives is for child A to learn to be comfortable with his peers who might be a little bit louder. And also, we hope to provide him with appropriate strategies to seek help and initiate interaction with his peers. Of course, to also increase his language input and opportunities to interact with different peers. For child B, we hope to give him a platform to encourage his helpful personality and teach him appropriate strategies to help different peers. Yep. So after the pairings are finalized, the pairings are introduced to the children through these visual buddy boards. So this will be placed in a visible area in the classroom. And as you can note, we have different kinds of board for children with different learning needs. On your left-hand side, the board is paired with very clear pictures and names of the students with numberings at the side. So this board is usually used with children who have lower literacy skills, who might not recognize their name yet, but we would like to encourage them to be independent by looking at the picture so that they can gain access to information about their buddies. While the picture on the right is for children who have higher literacy skills who already recognize their name. And in kindergarten, it's a bilingual school where we also work on Chinese language. So you can see that for those who have Chinese name, it's also displayed on the board. So on the board on your left, you can see that we have very visible numberings. So those are useful when the teacher has, when the class go through transitions. For instance, if they are going from the classroom, they need to line up to go to the toilet. Teachers get them to pair up with their buddies, and they are supposed to line up according to the numbers that they see on the board. So number 1, 2, 3, and so on. And we also use this visual board to allocate class assistants or class helpers for the day. So these class assistants will have responsibilities like cleaning the whiteboard for the day, or helping the teacher ferry some materials from point A to point B if they are having outdoor lessons. So what we do is, for instance, we will allocate, pair number 1, you are the class assistant for Monday. And then pair number 2 for Tuesday, pair number 3 for Wednesday, and so on. So it is quite, children do get the pattern after a while, and they would actually, if we forget, they will come to us and say, yesterday was pair number 3, today it's our turn, we are number 4. So things like that. So the visual schedule has been very useful for that. So another times that we use our buddy system is usually we use it in structured activities, small group activities. We pair the children up to work together. Beverly will share a little bit more about that later. And we also have learning center time where children are allowed free autonomy to work with other peers. So they are not restricted to only pair up with their buddies throughout the day. Next, my colleague Beverly will share more about the different opportunities where buddy system can be used in school.
Let me show you how a day in kindergarten looks like with children with different opportunities for children to learn, work, and play together. Over here, we have outdoor time with structured and unstructured activities, such as the sand play, tricycle time, playground time, and even walks at an enabling village. So during sand play, children have a variety of tools to explore with, where they build sandcastles with their peers. So during tricycle time, children invite their buddies, and we have this tricycle time once a week. So in the middle picture that you see over here, children are having fun with bubbles, and they bond over their love for bubbles. And these two children are actually from different classes. So we also bring children out for walks to our enabling village, and at enabling village, we have nice environment over there with greenery, some fish ponds, and also our community partners. So children do get excited, and some might even walk away. But this system then comes in place where they pair up and look out for one another and inform the teacher when someone walks away. So this increases the child's awareness towards their surroundings. So during curriculum time, we have small group sessions to work on their work habits, such as their fine motor, numeracy, language and literacy, and many more. The picture on your left shows the children using the paintbrush to write outside words that we have recently learned on the boardwalk. They are also seen sharing a bucket of water, and we have observed that children remind their peers when their paintbrush gets dry or help their friends to wet the paintbrush again. The picture in the middle shows a pair of children working on a bingo activity. So some of our children are still learning how to hold a pencil, and with buddy system, access is provided for all children, and we have also observed that peers reminding their friend like, hey, this number is on your paper, so you have to cross it out. We also organize field trips, and these field trips are conducted once a term based on our project work or our team. So during our recent trip to the hot park, we have seen that children invite their buddies to sit with each other. They take care of their buddies by holding their hands, and they tap on their buddies when they see interesting plants or flowers. So let me now share with you some of the strategies for the implementation of buddy system. So research has shown that teachers modeling do contribute to a positive experiences, and modeling is one of the strategies for successful implementation of buddy system. In kindergarten, we usually use physical prompt or hand-over-hand paired with verbal prompting, such as, do you need help when a child wants to get on the swing? So with this modeling, children observe us and then they do the same behavior. So as you can see, the picture on the left shows a child helping his peer up on the swing. So we first observed that this boy wants to get on the swing, but he couldn't reach to sit on it. So he was standing, hovering around, walking a few rounds, and these boys observed that and came forward to help him by lowering the swing and so that his friend can get on it. The picture on your right shows children playing a game of memory game. So children of mixed abilities are playing together, and as teachers, we are the facilitator, and we set up the games and tell them how to play or what the rules of the games. So we also model appropriate words to say for the children who needs more time. So after the teacher's modeling and facilitation, we observe that some of the comments that we hear is that let's give each other one more chance. We are all still learning. So as teachers, we do play an important role in facilitating and fostering these positive relationships. Providing opportunities for children to develop the positive relationship with their buddies is also one of the strategies for successful implementation of buddy system. So initially, teachers were the one who had to pair the children up, but after with ample opportunities provided, children learn to take more initiative and invite their friends during outdoor time and activities that they are involved in. So as teachers, we also play a part in highlighting and actively talk about the positive experiences. So some of the comments that we made, that was very helpful of you to look out for your buddy or your partner. So as mentioned, we have ongoing observations to observe the progress of the children. And with these observations, we rotate the pairing so that children do get more opportunities to interact with peers of different abilities. We also ensure that we check in with the children by asking them, how do you feel about your buddy? Or we observe their behavior with their buddy. In the areas of activities, these are some of the outcomes that we have observed over 6 months of implementation of buddy system. So pairing of children help the teacher in the classroom management when we are planning for lessons, activities, or transitions. When children are more independent, teachers will have more time for observation and evaluation, and this, as a result, we will have more time to plan for teachable moments for children. Another outcome is that due to the shared experiences, children will have, with their peers, there is an increased awareness, and children are more eager or motivated to complete an activity. So during unstructured play, we observe that child J often play on his own or play with soil. So with opportunities provided and his peers inviting him, we've seen that this child J is able to model and observe his friends' play skills, and after a few times we have seen him playing a game of catch with his friends. So with buddy system, teachers gain a better understanding of the children's needs, and these help teachers to plan activities to cater to different children of varying needs. So through buddy system, we observe that children learn to embrace and interact with each other to learn, work, and play together. So let me now share with you the benefits of buddy system. So Stanton Chapman and his colleagues found that there is an increase in peer initiation when peers respond to them. In kindergarten, opportunities are provided for social learning for all children. And as you can see on the picture on your right, this is the children are playing a game of heart attack that is self-initiated by them without any facilitation by the teachers. So in general, children are more aware of their peers, and they respond more positively when the peers addresses them. A study done in 2014 highlighted that children with additional needs are influenced by their peers' language skills, and they imitate them through their interactions. In kindergarten, we observed that children display improvement in language skills throughout daily interaction with their peers. And this observation can be seen in both English language and Chinese language. So children who are stronger in Chinese language influence their peers to pick up certain phrases. And they use these phrases, and we observe that children use these phrases with the Chinese teacher. So as the picture on your right shows a child singing "row, row, row your boat" to his peer, and these help to enforce certain language or skills that the teachers are working on or teaching the child. A study done by Carter and his colleagues found that when there are opportunities provided for children to practice social and communication skills, it helps children to forge meaningful relationships. And throughout our daily activities in kindergarten, there are various opportunities for children to interact and seek help from one another. So we observe that children are less dependent on teachers and learn to seek help from their buddies by tapping on their shoulders. So children learn to communicate needs with buddies, just like the picture on your right shows two children setting up the mattress cover. So we teach children to tap on their friends' shoulders and ask for help using keyword signs or words when they need help. Initially, this needed some prompting and modeling from the teachers, but eventually children learn to do it independently, and others are more aware of their peers. Through buddy system, we have also seen children have the ability to transfer the skills that they have learned with younger children. So some of the skills that were taught to children was to interact appropriately by calling or tapping their friends' shoulders. And if the child don't respond, they can learn to wait or seek help from an adult. So these skills were seen when children are working with younger children from another class. So since the implementation of buddy system, many children have shown progress in many areas. We also heard more positive comments from children when they are talking about their peers, and children are more aware of their environment too. So, for example, we have a pair of children, child P and child J, who initially showed resistance in pairing up with each other. So whenever child P wasn't as fast in following the teacher's instructions, child J would pull her hand and tell her to hurry up. Child J wasn't interested in interacting with child P as well. So after providing several opportunities for children to play and work together, we observed there is an improvement in their communication between one another. And during transition time, we saw that child P initiated play and approached her buddy by tickling him. And this child J actually responded very positively by making sound effects, and both of them were seen giggling at each other. We have also received feedback from parents that children do talk about their peers at home. As a result of this, parents shown more focus on their child's social emotional development, and also ask about their interaction with their peers and buddy. We have also took this opportunity to talk about the carefully planned and structured experiences and how these skills can be extended at home. We have since adopted buddy system as a practice and will continue to empower children. One of the spaces that we hope to explore is how buddy system can be extended to home environment with community and the community with parents and families as our partners too. Thank you.